Hello everyone, this is Norris once again. So I would like to talk about refugee here in Canada this time. Canada shuts its land border to asylum seekers. More refugees came anyway.
Dominion Church, cots, mattresses, and personal belongings fill the gathering space. Over the past few months, the church has served as a temporary shelter for refugees seeking asylum in Canada.
It is not the usual. This is not the usual, my friend.
Senior pastor Eddie Jumba says many regular events have been suspended as a result.
On Wednesdays, we do have a gathering. It's called the prayer evening. On Fridays, we do have a Bible study. It's called also a Bible study evening. Those are not happening right now.
Months after Canada struck a deal to stem the flow of asylum seekers from the United States, the number of people filing refugee claims has risen instead of falling. The surge shows how difficult it is for countries to shut the door on desperate people and the challenge higher numbers of asylum seekers can pose. In Toronto, hundreds slept on the streets this summer as they struggled to find beds. Sudanese refugee Hannah Bucket is one of them.
I didn't expect for a second that I will end up on the streets, literally on the streets.
Canada has long prided itself on welcoming immigrants. It granted asylum in over 60% of cases it finalized in 2022. The country aims to bring in 500,000 new permanent residents by 2025. But more than 39,000 asylum seekers entered Canada last year via unofficial crossings, mostly into Quebec, prompting the French-speaking province to say it could not handle those numbers. In response, Canada and the U.S. in March expanded the Safe Third Country Agreement, an asylum seeker pact under which each country turns back refugees. The agreement now applies to the entire length of the country's 4,000-mile land border, rather than just at ports of entry. The expanded pact led to a dramatic drop in the number of people intercepted at informal crossings. But the overall number of asylum seekers entering Canada has surged. In July, claims rose to more than 12,000, up from around 10,000 in March. That's according to data from the government's Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Department. Part of the rise is because Canada is among a shrinking group of countries seen as offering safe harbor. At the same time, pressures of war, climate change, and human rights violations force a greater number to flee. Many come by air. Others sneak across the border, sometimes with a smuggler's help, and hide until they can apply for asylum, people working with migrants told Reuters. Reuters spoke with 10 people seeking refugee status who had recently arrived in Toronto. Though they left for reasons ranging from domestic violence to war, the common draw for all was Canada's reputation for protecting human rights.
Why not try to come here?
Since arriving in Canada in July, Bucket has been sleeping in a mosque and a church.
You are scared, don't know what's going on around, who are the people around you, and it's a street at the end. So at some point I felt like, why did I come here? But at the end I have nowhere else to go. Everything back there is gone, even my home.
So let's talk about these refugee foreign nationals who are coming here in Canada. I know I've seen a lot of people asking money on the street, trying to pass by the street. It's very dangerous. Sometimes I give, and most of them, they would say, I don't have food, I don't have money for rental. What else? There's a lot of reason. They're putting it in a placard as a panhandler on the street. So I was saying to my daughter as well that, if you have money, would you be able to do that? I don't think you will do that. So, of course, they are so much in need. And I don't understand what's going on with our government. I believe that our government should do something for them. Unfortunately, because there's a lot of refugees coming in, hardly they can actually handle. Our Canadians and permanent residents, hardly they have an opportunity to actually welcome all of them. Recently, our mayor of Toronto told us that, if you have a spare room, welcome the refugees. So if you think about it, for safety precaution for your own family, you think you will do that. I don't think you would do that. So unfortunately, there's a lot of imbalance nowadays for refugees, and I feel bad for them, truly from my heart. So I believe that before they come in, they should do something in order for them to actually not living on the street. There's a lot of refugees. One time, my brother-in-law was asking me, "Do you know some place or rental properties or rental places?" I knew somebody on the street sleeping in there, and he is a refugee. And again, you have to think about it, because one time we welcome a refugee from the Philippines actually, but when we let her enter and stayed in the basement of my sister, they ended up making making a lot of mess. They messed up the house of my sister. So again, at the end of the day, it is not our responsibility as a Canadian citizen or Canadian resident for the refugee people, but it's the government. It's the government who decided to let them enter. We tried actually to welcome one of this refugee person or our family, because they have no place to go. We feel bad for them, but at the end, it's still coming back to us as a bad situation, because they destroyed a lot of a lot of things in the house. At the same time, they didn't even care. So the only thing you can do is to feel sorry about yourself. That's it. There's no crime in them doing all those messy stuff in your own house. And there's no crime in helping them either. So yeah. As an immigration consultant also, I came across with somebody who's a refugee. I told her, why don't you find a job? I told her that. Literally, find a job. You know what she said? It's really shocking, because she told me, "Oh no, I used to be a teacher back in my home country. I don't want to be cleaning. And if I'm going to work in here, my government subsidy or government benefit will gonna be lower, and they might gonna stop because I already have income." So that is the mentality most of the refugee foreign nationals who are coming here in Canada, because they're receiving a government subsidy. They don't want to work, and then at the end, those people, foreign nationals who are asking money from the street or sleeping on the street, I think they should go some places where they can find a job. They're all strong, and they have an open work permit. They have status here in Canada. They have benefits. So again, I think it's the government should do something. I know that they have programs in place to help these refugees, but I think it's not enough. There should be somebody in the airport showing them that, oh, okay, this is the place you should go, and they're gonna give you a job. They're gonna train you how to live in Canada, things like that, so that we can avoid this situation. Two situations that I'm seeing. One, refugees doesn't want to work because they don't want to let go of the benefits from the government. And then second thing is, of course, they are asking money from the street and sleeping on the street, and that's very unfortunate. It should not be like that here in Canada. So that's my take. I hope you have a great Saturday, everyone. This is for this topic are for refugees, and I believe there's a lot of people out there who can actually relate from this situation. Have a great day, guys.